Welcome to this Career Essentials video for PhDs and postdocs on how to describe your transferable skills in cover letters for non-research roles. This video builds on the Highlighting Relevant Skills video in this series, which showed you how to use the job advert to identify the transferable skills to highlight on your CV. Here, we will look at how to identify which skills you can give examples of in your cover letter to demonstrate that you are a good fit for the job. This video will then give you a suggested framework for a cover letter so that you can recognize in which paragraph the relevant transferable skills can be discussed. Finally, there are tips on how to find language suitable for the employer to describe the transferable skills with. This video uses the same bucket CV and job advert as the Highlighting Relevant Skills video in this playlist. You can find a link to this bucket CV in the video description. The Career Service has lots of resources to help you with all aspects of your application. You can find them on our website. The CVs and Cover Letters book for PhDs and postdocs has lots of general tips on CVs and cover letters for roles in and outside of academia. Links to these resources can be found in the video description. We also have our Get Recruitment Ready playlist here on YouTube. And as I said, there are more videos in this Career Essentials for PhDs and Postdocs playlist on CVs and on how to describe your motivation for a career change when you are applying for a non-research role. As mentioned in the video on career change, the cover letter tells your unique story and why you are a good fit for the job. This is a suggested basic structure for a non-academic cover letter. In the first paragraph, you could say, I would like to apply for position X, which is advertised on website X, and the reason why you are writing now. Paragraph 2 could discuss why you are interested in this role and this particular company. Then in the third paragraph, you could tell them what you bring to the job, why the employer should be interested in you. The last paragraph could summarize the key points, and you could address here how your values match the company's values, and then you close the letter politely. Using this structure, where could you mention your transferable skills? The third paragraph, where you explain what skills you bring to the job, is a good place to discuss this. What skills have you learned in academia that will also be useful for your new job? Remember that people recruiting for non-research roles may not be aware of the wide range of skills you learn in academia. And also remember that this is only a suggested structure. You can change the order of the paragraphs or have multiple paragraphs to explain what you bring to the job. You can mix things up depending on your style. There's no strict rule on what should go where. Just make sure you tell your story in a way that shows them why you are the right fit. What skills do you bring to the job? Why should the employer be interested in you? This paragraph is backward-looking and describes what you have previously done. Make sure not to cover everything from your CV. Use the job advert to select the experiences most relevant to the job. Show them that you have the skills to prioritize and that you understand what they are looking for. Ideally, a cover letter is 1 to 1.5 pages. 2 pages is the maximum. Highlight the relevant experiences with examples. Try to mirror the employer's tone and vocabulary from the job advert, their website, and publications. Try to be creative and do not copy whole sentences. Now that we have identified in which part of the letter to describe the transferable skills, it is time to think about the structure of the paragraph. Recruiters and employers often have many applications to go through, and they will initially scan your CV and cover letter. You can help them find the important skills by using this suggested structure. You can open with your key message. In this video, this sentence will highlight the skills from the job advert that will be discussed in this paragraph. In the middle, you can provide detail and evidence, and you can show how you have used these skills. At the end, you can summarize your key point and briefly outline why the transferable skills are relevant to the job. More information can be found in the playlist with videos to help you make applications. For example, this structure is also discussed in the cover letters and personal statements getting started video. Okay, now that you know where in the document the transferable skills go and how you can structure the paragraph, we will move on to some examples. This is the same example job advert as was used in the Getting Prepared video in this playlist. I will also use the same bucket CV. You can find a link to this CV underneath the video. I will highlight some key skills and show how the transferable skills from the CV can be described in the cover letter. This job advert is for a public engagement officer. The public engagement officer acts as the first point of contact for the Centre for Public Engagement and leads our communications to build awareness of the support available to staff and students undertaking public engagement activity at Queen Mary. This position works with the CPE team to support staff and students across the institution to maximise their public engagement and contribution towards Queen Mary University of London's strategic goals. Your role will support colleagues at all career stages and across our 3 faculties to develop high-quality public engagement projects. You will need to liaise with a variety of internal and external stakeholders and partners, building good relationships and awareness of other support and opportunities available. You will have experience of public engagement and related activities, with a focus on advising and supporting public engagement projects. Experience of managing projects. Experience of communicating effectively with a wide variety of stakeholders. Experience managing and/or developing content for internal and external communication channels. Evident interest in the work of Queen Mary's 3 faculties and surrounding communities. Excellent interpersonal skills, able to interact with a diverse range of contacts from multiple disciplinary backgrounds. Ability to prioritize a varied workload and plan ahead with minimal supervision. The small team sits within the office of the principal and works across all 3 faculties to offer advice, support and opportunities for public engagement work, a suite of training and internal funding opportunities. The team also works to ensure public engagement is recognized and rewarded across the faculties. You can see that I have highlighted the skills that I felt were most relevant to the job and for which there are good examples in the bucket CV. This is how you can approach any job advert. Decide what the important skills are that they are looking for and think about which transferable skills and experiences you have on your CV to demonstrate these skills. This means that the examples of transferable skills that you use in your cover letter are likely to be different for each job you apply for. Now let's look at the skills I highlighted in the job advert and how these align with skills from the bucket CV. Leads our communication to build awareness. Liaise with a variety of internal and external stakeholders. Communicating effectively with a wide variety of stakeholders. That you're able to communicate effectively with lots of different people could be demonstrated by examples from the 2 collaborations mentioned in the bucket CV. Initiated and developed a collaboration with colleagues at an institute in Germany and executed an international collaboration to genetically screen for this mutation. These examples need to become part of a story with an opening, a middle and an end. Here is an example of how these experiences of using communication in a collaboration can be turned into a story with links to the job advert. During my PhD and as a postdoc, I had to communicate effectively with a variety of stakeholders in international collaborations. The teams consisted of nurses, medics and scientists from different disciplines. I coordinated the international transport of hundreds of patient samples, and I ensured scientists were ready to promptly process the samples. The results of both projects were presented at international conferences and published in journal articles. This experience, where I had to liaise with people with different interests in the project, will allow me to work with the CPE team to support staff and students to develop high-quality projects. In the opening sentence, it is made clear for which skills from the job advert examples can be found in this paragraph. Here it is, communication with a variety of stakeholders. Then, in the middle, details are given, including a measurable outcome. The results of both projects were presented at international conferences and published in journal articles. And finally, the closing sentence summarizes what is described in the paragraph and uses the words from the job advert to emphasize how the transferable skills are relevant to the job. With this structure, someone who scans the letter by reading only the first and last sentence of each paragraph will know what evidence can be found in the letter that shows you are a good fit for the job. If you manage to intrigue the recruiter or employer enough, they will take the time to read the whole letter and to find out the details and evidence you provide. Let's look at the same skills but use a different experience from the CV to write a paragraph. The yearly charity concert this person organizes can also be a way to demonstrate they have communication skills and can talk to a variety of stakeholders. For example, they could say, "Since 2017, I organize a yearly charity concert, and this involves communicating with a variety of stakeholders. I love to sing, and the idea of these concerts is to raise funds for a different medical charity each time, and to explain science related to the charity's aim to the audience. I liaise with the charity and scientists, book the venue, put together the program, invite other performers, advertise the event, sell tickets, and organize the catering. Unfortunately, the concert was cancelled in 2020 and 2021 due to the pandemic, but all the other years we raised over £1,000 and last time we had an audience of just over 100 people. The skills I have developed organizing these concerts with a public engagement element will allow me to interact effectively with different people to increase awareness of the support available to staff and students undertaking public engagement activities at Queen Mary. Just like in the previous example, the opening sentence uses words from the job advert to introduce which skills will be on show in this paragraph. Here it involves communicating with a variety of stakeholders. The great thing of this experience is that it's an outreach experience. Explain science related to the charity's aim to the audience. Therefore, this links to the role of a public engagement officer. This just shows that if you have the chance of doing extracurricular activities that you enjoy, it can be really useful. You never know when these types of experiences may come in handy for future job applications. In the middle of the paragraph, further details are given of the different activities involved in organizing the concert, and evidence is provided that this person is good at communicating with a variety of stakeholders in the form of a measurable outcome. We raised over £1,000 and we had an audience of just over 100 people. Finally, they close the paragraph with a sentence using words from the job advert to demonstrate how these skills are relevant to the job. To interact effectively with different people to increase awareness of the support available to staff and students undertaking public engagement activities at Queen Mary. Let's move on to managing projects and prioritizing a varied workload and plan ahead with minimal supervision. How do you demonstrate that you have developed these skills in academia? You could use the two postdoctoral positions. As I said before, people recruiting for non-research roles may not know what skills you acquire in academia. Therefore, you can give a high-level overview of what a postdoctoral researcher does without any scientific detail. This person could say, "Prioritizing and planning my work with minimal supervision was part of managing my projects as a postdoctoral researcher at the University of Bristol and at the University of Cambridge. My supervisors had clinical duties and a large research group to supervise. I took the lead and got all the necessary paperwork in place for the experiments, designed and performed the experiments, analyzed results, presented the results, and wrote articles. Because I was able to manage my own workload successfully, Professor X asked me to supervise 2 master's students and a PhD student. The PhD student is due to finish their project in September, and the master's students passed with merit and distinction. I would enjoy applying my project management skills and ability to work independently to give advice on public engagement work, including training and internal funding opportunities. Can you identify where this person is mirroring the language from the job advert and where they are giving an example of a measurable outcome? Pause the video and identify 2 places where they use words from the job advert and 1 sentence where they give an example of a measurable outcome. The opening line uses words from the job advert as an introduction. Prioritizing and planning my work with minimal supervision was part of managing my projects. In the middle, further details are provided and the ability is evidenced by the fact that this person was asked to not only manage their own project, but to also supervise students with a successful outcome. The closing sentence summarizes and uses words from the job advert to show how the skills from the example are relevant to the job. These skills will allow me to give advice on public engagement work, including training and internal funding opportunities. I hope this video has given you an idea of where and how you can discuss your transferable skills in the cover letter for a non-research role. If you need more help, please feel free to book a one-to-one appointment with a careers consultant. Good luck with your applications.